talk to the Justice Department about what's going on. And there's actually somebody from the Justice Department that got moved to Jackson undercover at the main office.
I think they're starting to desensitize. They know something. I think they're on their toes now. They're going to be watching themselves.
So they're on their toes because of us.
Yeah.
And we're not going away. I mean, they've done everything that they thought they could do to get people to leave. We're not leaving. And now they're, oh my God, you know, these people are going to come up with some stuff that we don't want public, like your story, you know, like Harold Ray.
Right. That's been sealed. The Harold Ray FBI has sealed.
Yeah.
The Fox News came down here and tried to investigate and contact the Department of Justice, and it's been sealed.
Yeah.
No one can find out anything. How many bullet holes? Who did what? There's so many inconsistencies. You could fly a 747 through it.
Yeah, exactly. Because he was shot by a policeman.
Yeah, his own people. Do you think that's ever going to come out?
We're working on it. I don't know. You know, I have 2 kids. I've already notified them. Listen, I just want you to know I love you. Because I may not come home.
Oh my God, that's my life.
Yeah.
I live that.
That's where we are right now. We carry guns at night. We don't go out very much after dark. Usually never by ourselves.
Same here. And I always have to tell someone before I leave, I'm on my way, I'm taking this route, I'm 10 miles from there, and 6 out of 10 times I get followed and stopped. What are you doing? Where you headed?
So they don't stop us. They follow us.
Uh-huh.
We've got pictures of them with laptops and recording devices and recording us from a distance. So,
the day after this helicopter was hovering over my home last Wednesday at 2:45, military helicopter taking footage, either video or still pics. Couldn't tell. I wasn't going to walk out there in front of God and everybody just stand there and like Jethro, well, wonder what's going on? Here I am.
Yeah.
So I peeked my head out and this guy just smiles at me with a big Grinch smile in the beard and fatigue. And he's got a camera like this and he peeks away and he smiles at me. And I go, oh my God. And I dart over here, I grab my camera. I go like, okay, smile. I put the camera in his face, but I hold it out like this, and the helicopter just takes off and bolts. So I call Tupelo Airport, identify myself. So yeah,
let's go back.
Yeah, put that on record.
Yeah, we need this on record. Go ahead.
I called the Tupelo.
What happened last Wednesday?
Last Wednesday, exactly 2:45 p.m. I was on my computer. It had just booted down mysteriously while putting in illegal tender information on myspace.com. All concerning Presley, myself, my story with the North Mississippi Medical Center, and immediately, my computer just shuts down. I've had very many strange things happen. I've had eyewitnesses at my home playing pool, and my computer turn itself on, and then files go and changing from my documents over to an unknown folder. I get a Dr. Pepper. And files being transferred from one file setting to another, and then it just turn off. I've had hundreds of viruses. I've had to purchase 7 computers in 2 years. This is unusual. They come out to my home and clamp some metal box on my telephone wires, and they clamp it with a yellow tag that says 107. I walk to every phone line in my neighborhood. I'm the only one with that. I took pictures of it, uploaded that on the internet to my website. This is one day after the helicopter instance. 2:45 last Wednesday, right? I'm sitting there typing my blog out, and computer shut down like 5 times in 1 hour, making it impossible for me to get my information out there. Then all of a sudden I hear this roar, and there's this military helicopter 20 feet from my roof, and my dog's going crazy. So I walk out and look. Sure enough, this guy swings open the door and smiles, a big Grinch smile. And he has a camera in both his hands. And then I'm like, oh my God. And I run over and get this camera, and I start taking video of the helicopter. I'm just hanging it out the window because I'm a little nervous. And they go like a bat out of hell. They just take off and fly away. So I called Tupelo Airport, identify myself, and I said, yes, it's Kevin Curtis. I said, what was that? Yes. Could you tell me what a military helicopter would be doing hovering over my home. I'm at this address off South Lake Street. I'm just curious, could you give me, y'all probably keep up with who's flying where, the traffic in the air. Never call me back. They patch me through to 10 people. Then I get a voicemail. I said, this is an emergency. I never got called back. Interesting, isn't it? Things that make you go, So I've got a little device on my telephone wire going into my home with my landline. My attorney sends me papers from Oxford.
Let's go back to the thing that's on your telephone line.
Yeah.
It's a device that has a tag on it.
A tag on it. Yellow tag says 107, which is my address. It's very strange looking. I took many photos of it and uploaded it to my website under strange and mysterious things.
And you looked around your neighborhood and nobody else?
No one else. And my attorney sent me paperwork saying, we have subpoenaed the records. We have found out that you were under surveillance, federal surveillance. And I have sent the paperwork to find out why your internet traffic, every keystroke of your computer and email is being monitored and sent to a third party for review. I have been notified that this is a fact, and I have now asked them to supply me with any and everything to justify why you're doing it.
Your attorney?
My attorney, Lewis, Ron Lewis in Oxford. And he asked for $10,000 up front when I first went to him 3 years ago. He said, be at my office at 9 o'clock Monday morning with $10,000, and I'll take this case against this trigger-happy assistant DA. I said, sir, I don't have $10,000. I'm tapped out. I lost my business. I've lost everything. I don't have anything. He said, I'm sorry, I can't. I said, just give me what you got, paperwork, whatnot, any documentation. I had this much in this briefcase. I had copies. I whipped it out and gave him every copy. He goes, I'm assuming this is the original, whatever it is. And I'm like, no, that's copies. I've got the original. I've got several copies. My aunt has it in Texas. My mother, my stepfather. Everybody's got it. I'm not going to just, he knew. And then when we had our 5th or 6th trial and the judge stepped down, the attorney stepped down to conflicts of interest, James Moore was standing there. I'm standing there with my daughter. And they said, well, we're just going to appoint you a public defender. My stepfather stands up and says, what about that Ron Lewis? Do y'all have a problem with him in Oxford? This is after he asked for $10,000. They go, I don't have a problem with Ron Lewis. I'll put Ron Lewis on the case. This is the guy who wanted $10,000. He called me up. He was so discombobulated. Mr. Curtis, you think you're something, don't you? You snookered me once. I'll tell you what, boy. You really got me. And I never heard from him again until this just surfaced after 3 years. Simple assault. All of the jail terms, all of the court hearings. But you and I both know it ain't about no simple assault. This started out in March about what I discovered at that hospital. Then it links over. They see me having lunch with Charlene Presley, and then all hell breaks loose. I go to the court dockets 4 years ago. I'm typing in Daniels on the court dockets. 10 attorneys and judges come and surround me. What are you doing? I said, I'm just looking for any old thing I can find on this thing. Public, anybody can do. I'm assuming I've already asked. They said I could. What are you doing? I said, I'm trying to find just some books. I find the Gary Sandifer trial lawsuit that was thrown out. And I told the girl that $1 a copy. Can you run off these copies for me, please? While she's running the copies off, something happens to the computers there at the 2nd floor courthouse, and they shut down. And then I'm asked to leave. And I go back the next day, and guess what? Mr. Daniels has checked out 10 of those books that have every docket number in them that he can have them for the rest of his life. All he has to do is keep rechecking them out. So I call up Lewis in Oxford and say, can you subpoena and get that? I'm trying to prove that he beat a man senseless and broke his jaw in 3 places. The guy had to pay $17,000 that accidentally bumped into Daniels at a nightclub, and it was thrown out of court over and over. This guy was threatened, and the police report was changed and tampered around. And Ron's like, I'll look into it for you. And he said he can check out those books as long as he wants. That's not, that's just, he's an official of the court. I felt like, you know, they're golfing buddies or fishing partners or something. I haven't felt comfortable with Lewis ever since. I mean, would you?
No.
Conspiracy all the way around. I mean, my best bet, hindsight's 20/20. 7 years ago, if I knew then what I knew now, because I know my rights now, if I knew then, I would have contacted someone in California that would have thought enough about it, looked at the facts and the paper trail I accumulated, and they would have come down here and took the bar and became a Mississippi attorney, had a double bar and tried the case, and became the next Aaron Brockovich situation. See, meanwhile, people are dying. There's a guy found 6 floors down, splattered at the hospital 1 year after I filed my lawsuit, and I heard 4 attorneys and an assistant DA at a place called Stables, where I was performing a stand-up comedy act. I was behind a curtain setting up light fixtures, and I heard them go, hey, yeah, I bet they know people that know him know he should have shut his mouth. And the other guy said, yeah, well, it won't hit the papers. It's not going to be that. WTVA won't be putting it on. They go, no, but he should have just shut up about it. He goes to work after filing a lawsuit against the hospital, and he drives to work, got kids, and he just jumps off the 6th floor onto the concrete. It never made the Daily Journal. Yet they can put in the paper, please people quit dropping your dogs and animals off over here by the Elvis Birthplace Museum. We're not a kennel. Here's the number to the Humane Society. That's newsworthy.
When did that happen?
2003. Interesting. He was an employee of the hospital and found suicide. I thought that was going to happen to me because Jim Wade fought and got my job back for 2 weeks. And he said, Kevin, they're going to put you in isolation. Up on 3 East, you're not going to see anybody. You're going to be completely by yourself. But you're going to be able to do your full work. They're going to leave you alone. I said, really? Can you imagine the fear I had walking back up in that hospital after all that hell? Oh my gosh. I just knew I was going to be killed one night. But I went back for 2 weeks. Boldly walked up in there, 3 E's, did my work, and then I started talking to people in food court. Security started following me to the restroom, follow me when I leave, clock out at night, follow me when I get there, when I go to eat, sit 4 or 5 security officers sit down beside me, smiling at me. It got to be crazy. Then an EKG technician came up on 3 E's and said, Kevin, I just want you to know, Sheila Moore, that runs security down there, she's taping you. She's got you on 9 monitors, 24 hours. They got tapes in every single monitor. They're taping you. I've never seen anything like it. I went down there, walked right up to her. She started flipping channel, trying to turn the monitors off. I called her. I go, what are you taping me for?
She said?
She said, I've been asked to by Kenneth Wheeler, head of security. He didn't tell me why. It's not my job to ask why. But he said, you know, you're just under surveillance for right now to watch. That's what we're doing. I'm sorry, I like you. It's my job. But then it came down to, I was notified in the mail, you were hereby terminated. Do not ever step foot. You are banned from life. Any property we own, if I catch you at the walking track, I've got it right here, right. If I catch you at the walking track, if I catch you, they name like 50 businesses that are on their property, and they mean it, because I've been on their property and tested them, and they gave me 5 minutes to exit or face incarceration, $1,500 fine for federally going against their federal trespassing paperwork against me. But to date, there's not anything to justify a lifelong banishment from a public hospital.
Is it a restraining order from the property?
No trespassing.
A no trespass order from a federal judge.
Yeah, it's federal. Oh, I've got it. They faxed it to WTVA.
That's all right. We'll find it, because I'm going to do the...
There it is.